Hey everybody, it's Annette. Just coming to you with a quick video. I have no tripod. Praying this does not shake a whole lot. Wanted to do a quick video on a topic I don't really see talked about on YouTube. I mean, it's probably out there. YouTube has everything. There's a mosquito flying around. Welcome to the South. Most of what you're going to see is, sorry about that, chicken boards and stuff like that, and groups primarily on Facebook. And what I want to cover today is, what do you do when your hens get older and stop laying? There is no one answer for that. That is unique to each person raising the birds. I will tell you what I do, or what I don't do. I don't kill them. I have one actually that is now in her retirement condo. There's a little house that we keep for broody hens and for some of the retired birds. And I have her in there. She was avoiding some of the other birds, and I thought, okay, I got a sick one coming down. And so I isolated her from everybody else into the isolation slash broody slash, retirement. I had to think of what the other part was. It's a multi-purpose habitat. I moved her in there and just figuring she'd be dead the next day, because you can tell when they're starting to slow down. Well, she's been eating well, drinking well, had some watermelon this evening. The other night, I did leave her coop door open, during the day, left it open to where she could get some air, and looking at the feral cats playing, could get some air. Well, I found her splayed out on the ground with one of the guys on her. We won't go into TMI on this one, but you know how they are. And I got her, put her in her coop, closed the door. She was splayed out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. I left this door open. They've mounted her. Now they've killed her. And she was fine the next day, looking for food, eating, drinking. I can assure you I have inspected her everywhere, including the nether regions, because you got to be careful. Sometimes they may have, well, their butts get dirty. I don't know how else to say it delicately. I had one rooster I didn't even know. He was losing weight too and getting sick, and I had him in isolation. I didn't realize he had fly strike. I never even heard, in 12 years, I'd never heard of that disease. So I can assure you, I've inspected her completely. So she's in her retirement coop and seems content. I give her the occasional raw egg, pick one up, and if it's a little bit messy, because these birds can get messy on their eggs, especially if you've had a big rain, and they're already kind of messy as it is, even though you can keep them so clean, but they are going to poop on their eggs. It's just the facts. Not all the eggs, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They're birds. So what do I do with the ones that are too old to produce eggs? What do other people do? Some people cull them and use them for meat. And to me, that's a sacred and personal decision for the person who's raised that bird to make, because they are more, their focus is egg production, and they may not have the space to have non-producing hens. I have a small setup. It's big to me. It's 3 runs, but I think I run it on a smaller scale than people. I got 22 hens and 7 roosters, and yes, they're all spread out. But what I do, because One thing, if you don't know about chickens, they are great pest control. We rarely see any ticks since I've had birds. Very, very rare to see a tick. And that used to be something that the dogs would go out or I would go out and there would always be something there. But since I got them, they take care of that. They take care of a lot of things, except for the fire ants. They don't mess with the fire ants. That would make them superheroes, but they don't mess with that. But other bugs and pests and stuff like that, they're eating the insects and especially the ticks. So I let mine just spend their retirement in rest and just a calmer life. And when they do go out to walk around, normally in a safe place where they're not going to be mounted, then they're just doing their little bird thing. They're pecking at the ground, they're getting their nutrients, and they're just kind of enjoying being relaxed. And for me, and this is again just a personal thing, is they've spent years providing for me and for my family. And my reward to them for their gifts to us is just to let them live out their retirement. Let them slow down a little bit. They worked hard. When you were producing an egg, typically one every, well, not everybody lays every day, depending on the heat and the cold. But the typical cycle of the egg is 24 hours, one egg per hen. I don't get one egg per hen every single day. Some days it's more, some days it's less. I do have some older hens too. But when you have young laying hens, that's usually what you can expect. And I do, when I collect them, I will say thank you for the nourishment. It's something I've been doing for years. It's kind of, I know it's all weird and hippie or whatever, but I do. I thank them. I'm taking something they've left for us, and then we have food and then lots of protein, and then we feed them and take care of them. But that's what I do. So you can either cull, use them for the meat, or you can let them live in retirement. I can't tell anybody what's right for themselves, their flocks, or their families. That's entirely up to each person. It's just what I do. Have a little retirement set up, and that's how they roll. So hope this helps somewhat let you know the decisions, because they'll lay for, I think, 5 years maybe, and then they'll start slowing down, and then they'll eventually kind of stop. You may see one in a blue moon, very rare thing. Hey, I got a kitty coming to visit. But it's 5 years of producing all those eggs. I think she deserves a break. So I'm going to give it to her, and happy retirement to the hen. Love y'all. Bye-bye.